What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D. So, if you heard Donald Trump say, you don't tax the rich, what would you deduce from that information? Because for me, I take it as tax the poor. What other conclusion can you draw if you hear Donald Trump say, you don't tax the rich? Because here he is saying exactly that and making his case basically for trickle down economics.
Blame always seems to go on her end to corporate price fixing and vilifying the corporations in this country, the companies in this country. When asked how she's going to pay for the agenda last night on 60 Minutes, she just keeps saying she's going to tax the rich. Even Bill Whitaker on 60 Minutes is saying, well, we live in the real world. How are you really going to do that?
Well, you don't tax the rich because the rich are going to look. The rich pay most of the tax in the country, first of all. You know, people hate to say it. They hate to hear it. But you take a certain very small percentage, and most of the tax is paid by the rich. But the problem that she has is she's going to the communist method. Take all incentive. And you know what the rich do and the corporations do? They leave the country and they go to another country that's more friendly from a tax standpoint and other standpoints like a regulation standpoint.
And listen, I want to say something here. If trickle down economics actually worked, if we saw windfall profits trickling down all the way to entry level workers, if we saw people getting raises, people having more prosperity on their jobs, people having better working conditions because corporations were being taxed less, we would probably be all for it. The problem is it doesn't work. It's never worked. We've seen it since Ronald Reagan uttered it. It has not worked. So when you hear Republicans, Donald Trump, starting to regurgitate the same noise of trickle down economics and you can't tax the rich because the rich, they'll just leave, you know. No, we're not afraid of corporations leaving. We don't want corporations that don't want to pay their workers a livable wage. We don't want them. So if they're going to run away because you're taxing them more, let them go. Again, if trickle down economics actually worked and windfall profits were trickling down to everyone, we'd probably be all for it. But it's not happening. So when you hear Donald Trump say, you don't tax the rich, you can't tax them. If you tax them, they'll go somewhere where it's nicer for them, where there's less regulations, where they're not taxed as much. What is he saying? He's saying tax the poor and middle class. He's telling you who he is. All you need to do is listen. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.